The B2 Super Battle Droid, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys recall way back when this guy used to be the plug and play champion of all time. Put him in any type of lineup and he was amazing. Obviously thrown as the plug and play champion that we have today. However, the B2 Super Battle Droid was already a pretty decent plug and play character, and this past Wednesday, we finally got an upgrade to the B2 Super Battle Droid with a brand new rework that added a few new things and a nice little coat of paint that tried to make him relevant for his plug and play viability. And also, as you see, I maxed out reactive protocol to the very max, added the Zeta and all that, but we also see that they're building the B2 Super Battle Droid to what I think is going to be a very important component to the Separatist droid army that we're slowly getting over the course of February. But the question I had to myself, is there any sort of plug and play general viability today that could help in Arena? Because Jedi Revan pretty much has 80% of the meta right now. Buffs are a huge component in Arena, so this might be a good time to test out if the B2 Super Battle Droid can work in Arena against a lot of top-end things going on. So really the key change that might make him a bit more useful in Arena is the increased chance of buff immunity. So I took it upon myself the past few days, and since I had this character at gear 12, I went ahead and tested him in a variety of lineups. And obviously the Zeta doesn't really help out at all at this point, but I wanted to kind of report that I did actually find some success with the B2 Super Battle Droid, mostly in a Darth Trai team. A lot of cool things going on. I want to share my experiences with you. I'm going to show some gameplay, also talk about some other attempts I tried with him, the kind of theory craft with him, and then later on we'll do some gameplay, you and I together, so I can show you real time how this character is actually pretty interesting. Before we get to Darth Trai, let me talk about some of the trial and error stuff going on that a lot of you guys might be looking into. First of all, the first thing I tried him out with was a Commander Luke Skywalker team. That's pretty much the third best team going around out there, and R2-D2 is kind of that weak link. A lot of people either replace him with a Nest, but really from my experiences plugging in the B2 Super Battle Droid on that team didn't really feel like it added too much. I felt like I was missing a lot from R2-D2's uniques, as well as the cleanse, all the other bonuses he's giving, and plus because of C-3PO, R2-D2 can apply expose on the basic and whatnot and hide everyone. I felt like putting B2 in place of R2 didn't really help out the team that much. I actually felt there's maybe a reduction in that team's viability, so not too much there. And the other question you guys might be thinking of when you saw this character is maybe use him in a Jedi Training Ray BB-8 squad. As you guys know, with BB-8, droids can't really be outran by a Revan team, so BB-8 goes first and then Chewbacca's always assisting. I actually felt that was the worst out of all the tests I did because I pulled out R2-D2 and that team really relies on self-cleansing over and over again. So, but the thing I had the most success with that we're going to spend the most time talking about today is Darth Trai, the second most used team right now. I mean, I use that lightly because Revan occupies almost 80% of the meta at the point. The reason why B2 and his slight upgrade works in a Darth Trai team is actually a lot of reasons. First of all, a fairly well-modded Revan team is gonna go first no matter what most of the time against a Darth Trai team. If you're going first before a Jedi Knight Revan team, their team is poorly modded. But a good team will have Jedi Knight Revan go first, and they're always gonna mark Traya. And when Traya is getting marked and all of a sudden bombarded by 1,000 attacks that follow through, most of the time, the B2 Super Battle Droid steps in right away, follows up with his turn, and you can immediately mow down a lot of that tenacity up that started off on a Jedi Knight Revan team, and then you can potentially apply buff immunity, an 80% chance to apply that buff immunity, which really screws up the pace for the Jedi for the next consecutive turns that they make. Mainly, buff immunity helps stop Yoda from spreading all of these buffs that he loves to do early on in the game. Basically, he wastes the ability, and that really slows down their damage output and all the other crazy stuff that they have going on, especially the foresight. And the other good thing that we have going on here is that we have two mass buff dispellers. Scion compensates in an area that the B2 Super Battle Droid can't do, which is go through evasion. You can't evade Scion's torment, and the thing that B2 does that compensates for Scion is that the B2 has a way to stop the other team, to stop the Revan team from adding more buffs on top of their character. So the buff immunity and the torment ability from Darth Scion, they pair very well together, and this right here, I found myself being able to manage the other team, applying frequent buff immunity over on General Kenobi, then a fracture from Thrawn on Yoda or Revan. I actually found that Darth Trai is really enjoying the B2 Super Battle Droid. And the other thing that's really neat to keep in mind is that because of the Darth Trai lead, every time you're hitting a debuffed enemy, the Sith are regaining health. And because the B2 Super Battle Droid is going to get a lot of turns because of all the triggering of his Relentless Barrage unique ability, he's going to come and frequently do a buff Dispel, and every time he's hitting someone with the debuff, it's pretty much an extra heal for the whole entire team. So between Cyan's AoE, Nihilus' AoE, B2's AoE, there's so many opportunities for Darth Trai and the crew to keep regaining health and survive for a long time in the battle. And before you and I actually get into that gameplay, a few quick things about mods, because I think mods are actually very important for the B2 Battle Droid. Highly recommend you load this guy up with potency sets, potency secondaries, and potency primaries, because you want to make sure when you do trigger that 80% chance to land a buff immunity that you actually do stick it. You don't want it to be resisted. You want to make sure you can keep that buff immunity on so that the other team, they don't gain buffs. And the other thing that I really want to point out is Darth Trai and how to mod her, because Darth Trai is going to get a beating at the very beginning of the battle because of Mark, but if you mod her correctly, she can survive for a very long time. And to do that, you put tenacity on her. So the tenacity mod sets help her resist, first of all, the reduction of her max protection that Jedi Revan is oh so infamous known to do, and also at the same time resisting a lot of the debuffs that they're applying at the beginning and whatnot. So tenacity mod set I highly recommend doing, because you can resist the reduction of the max protection that Jedi Revan can do. Okay, so let's stroll on to battle here and go up against this Jedi Revan team. Oh no! Did we actually survive on defense? Let's check it out. Hey, look at that. The Darth Trai team actually stood up on defense. I don't know what came up against it, but we did well. So here we go. Right at the very beginning, unfortunately, it looks like the this irritates me a little bit. The B2 Super Battle Droid jumped straight to 100% turn meter, and the other team still had their Yoda go, so that's fine. This is still important to at least clear the foresight. We won't be able to get through the foresight to the rest, but we got to start clearing these buffs as fast as possible, because normally that foresight at the very beginning would stop Nihilus from doing his mass AoE ability to increase cooldown. So that right there, B2 served the purpose to quickly remove things so Nihilus can get in here and start doing his own thing. So let's put a fracture on Yoda so he stops going crazy on me. So that's one thing right there we got to take care of. But notice every time that B2 is going to gain turn meter, watch, we're going to heal the team. Boom, we healed the team. And then here, another turn right here. Let's try to heal up Traya. Boom. There we go. Oh, we didn't get an assist right there, or any sort of turn meter right there. That's fine. Let's see. Here we go. We're going to get some good stuff right there. Perfect. All right. Now, here we go. Now we can get buff immunity. Look at that. In a matter of the first few seconds of the game, B2 took so many turns, almost more turns than Yoda, and now we got buff immunity on the field. So hopefully we're going to try to control some of the stuff that's being floated around here. All right. I'm going to have to throw this Isolate over on Yoda so we can just stop him from going crazy once he gets off of Isolate. So again, pay attention. Traya, because of all the tenacity, is helping her survive as long as possible here. All right, and there we go. We got another turn. Let's try to heal up Traya a bit. Boom. Let's actually top off Traya's protection a bit. Excellent. Here we go. All right, perfect. Another turn. So we're getting a lot of turns with the B2 Super Battle Droid AoE ability. There we go. So we're getting close to our we're getting close to Annihilate. Oh, we need to get, look at that, B2 coming in. Boom. Look at that. We're getting the healing. We're getting the health regeneration. We're getting buff immunities. Unfortunately, I was hoping to get a buff immunity over on Kenobi, but we're stuck behind him at the moment. Just need to get around him. We might have to annihilate him in a second. Oh, come on, Traya. Here we go. More buff immunity. Got rid of the foresight. Oh, and then Traya bit the dust, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I was hoping to keep her around a little bit longer, but I think we still should be able to pull out the battle because we have an Annihilate coming from Nihilus in one quick second, which I probably will get rid of Yoda. Let's make sure we don't get Kenobi to taunt. All right, let's get rid of Yoda because he's going to do 5 million attacks. Jolie just wasted a revive right there. But right here, I actually am going to give a ton of credit, a ton of credit to the B2 pulling off this, hopefully what's going to be a victory. Again, look at all of these turns. This has always been in the B2 Super Battle Droid's kit to just take a lot of turns, but he just has such a high chance of applying. Look at that. Because of buff immunity, we prevented the team from mass assisting. Here we go. Cooldown increase, all the buff immunity, extra buffs or debuffs that we can and decrease our cooldowns from. Yeah, let's see, can we try to get rid of Jolie so he doesn't revive Revan? Come on, there we go. All right, so now we should be able to pick up this battle. Niall says he's gonna be fine. Get rid of the foresight. Okay, Now we just gotta hopefully top off Nihilus a little bit. Let's get rid of that Retribution over on Revan. So I'm gonna try to fast forward this because with my commentary and being a little excited about the B2 Super Battle Droid, we're kind of running short on time. So let's try to fast forward this so you guys can see the finish line.
Take out the papers and the trash. For you buggers, no spending cash.
So it looks like, unfortunately, my commentary kind of slowed me down a little bit, but I pretty much was going to... normally, I win these battles, but with me talking, kind of pausing, and explaining some of the logic that went on, we ended up in a draw. But the point I wanted to show with this first battle right here is just to show you how important B2 was. They kind of controlled the battlefield with all these debuffs. Let's try to run through that battle again with less commentary so you can try to see me pull off a victory here. Okay, so let's run through this battle one more time with less commentary because you guys got the drill from the previous battles. Here we go. B2 got ticked off. Yoda's gonna take a turn, unfortunately. I was hoping that the B2 Super Battle Droid can go in before Nihilus, but this actually could work to some extent because now we can clear away all this tenacity up that we have here right at the very beginning. Let's go slow down Yoda right now. Let's toss in a fracture over on him. Okay, good. Bastel wasted that over on him. There we go. B2 just takes so many turns. It's so cool to see how he actually has a weird use. I mean, again, not too much change. I think some damage numbers and all that change, but just the increase in his buff immunity does help out to an extent. There we go. Fracture slowed that down. That was helpful. Let's see. We can't remove any buffs. I could take a gamble and try to remove Foresight and then get B2 to get ticked off, but let's try to get a heal instead. All right, here we go. Isolate. Let's toss Isolate over on Revan. Let's also pass over the protection up the him. So hopefully we can get closer to our annihilation a bit faster. Okay, let's see. Can we get a big hit on Yoda? Big hit. Oh, not big enough. All right, come on. All right, let's top off Traya because she's falling a bit short. This should do it right here. Big hit. Oh, not quite. Let's get rid of that Foresight. Here we go. Now we should get really close. The extra buff means just ensure that we're going to have a nice steady stream of our own debuffs on the other team because with all the tenacity up and Foresight, it's hard to make sure those debuffs stick. Here we go. This is going to trigger Savior. That's perfectly fine. Boom, one hit. All right. Okay. Come on. B2 ticked off. Come on. B2. Oh, B2's got the buff immunity or the ability block. Okay. There we go. Isolate, stop that right there. All right, let's go and get rid of Yoda. Jolie can't revive him. Excellent. Toss a fracture over on Kenobi because he's just annoying. He's going to get in our way a little too much for my liking. He's got... Come on. All right, so let's go and try to work on Jolie. Now we can kind of play around with everything else they have going on. There we go. No revive from Jolie. Perfect. Keep the buff immunity coming, baby girl. Oh, I love the B2 Super Battle Droid. Not much change with him, and I just imagine we're doing this with the Sith team right now. It's only going to get better when we have a Separatist team because I think he's mostly designed for a Separatist team. There we go. Pretty much game set match. Kenobi's got buff immunity. He's not going to do much. We still have Isolate over on Revan. So even though this team went first, we had Traya survive pretty much this whole entire battle. Let's get a fracture over on Revan. Let's just end Revan so we can call it a day. Boom. And there we go. Game set match, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go with less commentary. Hopefully this was able to, maybe not less. I still talked quite a lot there. But when you're doing this whole lineup, I'm hoping you notice that Revan ticks the crap out of the B2 Super Battle Droid. All the mass assists, the back-to-back attacks. It just calls the B2 Super Battle Droid to step in the battle and maintain some sort of order for your Sith team so that that the other team isn't spreading buffs like crazy, that you're also preventing mass assists from Kenobi, preventing Kenobi from taunting, and at the same time you're healing your Sith team with the frequent attacks that the B2's coming in with. And I'm really excited for the future of this character once we get the rest of the Separatist droid army and that juicy General Grievous rework. Seeing how he's doing with the Sith team against Revan, I'm really thinking the B2 Super Battle Droid is going to spell trouble for our Revan team once he's in his correct element with all droids and a Separatist army that we still don't know the rest of their kit for. It's going to be trouble, guys. Just wait and see. But that's going to be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you did enjoy the video on this initial impressions video of the reworked B2 Super Battle Droid that I've been testing out the past few days of my account. Very interesting character that got better with his rework, and I think he's going to be trouble once he's in his correct element with General Grievous. And heck, we somehow drove off some team that was attacking me when I was on defense, so that's kind of something good, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead, hit that like button. Comment down below on your thoughts of B2 and what I showed you guys in the future film. Would love to hear your thoughts, and be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And until the next video, rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous. CG, get your act together and rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous. Come on, CG, don't make me pray.